Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to our SWE Universe mode. We are here with our very first episode of Octane of Season 3 of SWE, live from Austin, Texas. We've got a pretty interesting card for you here this evening. Some pretty cool looking matches. And here we go, then we're going to open up our Universe mode here on Octane with a triple threat match between Dalton Castle, Aleister Black and Akira Tozawa. Now, as we said over on Mayhem a couple of days ago, please bear with us with some of the cores. They're as good as they possibly can be at this point in time. Of course, there is still a bit of time that we need to get better versions, but hopefully all the cores we have at the moment are usable for now. They're not bad. I think the game's only been out about 10 days or so, haven't you? So it's we're getting by what we got. And here is Aleister Black. It's a pretty good Aleister Black. I don't think the face is perfect. It's not bad actually, though, is it? Tattoos and everything like that is pretty good. Entrance obviously is pretty good as well, but just that face could be a little bit better. But of course he will have the real Aleister Black at some point. See, this annoys me. This whole thing with the core names, it's a really stupid little thing. I have to fix that. But it sort of misses it, and you end up with no space in between the name. It's a real weird little way of doing it. I don't know. It's a really weird way of doing it, but it's the way it is. It's the way it is. So, big night for you here this evening. We have 3 episodes of Octane before we hit our first pay-per-view, so we haven't got to rush too much. But tonight we will discover our #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship in a triple threat between Kalisto, Gran, Metalik and Mistico. And we'll also crown our #1 contender for the Octane Championship as Kenny Omega goes one-on-one with Wade Barrett. Also got for you a Fatal 4 women's match coming up with Dakota, Toni Storm, Tessa, Blanchard and Jazzy Galbert. We're going to see the Octane champion Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Cody Rhodes. We've got Tyler Breeze taking on Neville. And we've got the British Bulldog versus Aiden English. So an interesting collection of matches here this evening. And this is not a bad Dalton Castle, is it, either? Of course, Dalton Castle was part of the Adrenaline roster in 2K17. It was the former Adrenaline Intercontinental Champion, and I'll be hoping to come over to Octane here and do some damage here in Octane as well. See if he can really push himself back into a championship picture. And again, this is a pretty good Dalton Castle, but maybe the face is a little bit out, and maybe we can find a better one in the future. But at the moment, I'm not too disappointed. And of course, the third and final person in this match is somebody who's on the game this year. It's Akira Tozawa. There he is. Part of the Titus Worldwide stable, which does involve himself, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, and we've added Darren Young as well, just because there's bugger all else for him to do, really, is there? So we're going to have the team as the primetime players. Akira Tozawa is going to be probably our main push towards probably the European Championship and the Cruiserweight Championship, but Apollo Crews maybe European Championship / Main Event Championship. Now I know that seems like a bit of much for Apollo Crews based on his WWE run so far, but you got to remember Apollo Crews' Uha Nation on the indie scene was a top quality wrestler and was fighting the main event of a lot of different companies. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if we can get some good stuff from here as well, as Dalton Castle straight away taking Aleister Black down. Big match this one, especially for Aleister Black, because he struggled. He hasn't had a very good time in Season 2 of SWE, and he needs a victory. He really does. A win here. His tattoos look a little bit too... Actually, he looked pretty good in the entrance, but now he's looking a little bit... Tattoo-wise looks okay, but maybe a little bit too dark, maybe. I'll be happy once the DLC gets released, but I'm sure that's probably not till Christmas normally, the first lot of DLC. I'd rather just get all the DLC on day one, you know. I know that's not the point. I know the point is to release it throughout the length of the game and keep the content fresh, but when it comes to wrestlers, I'd rather just have them all at the beginning. Like, the annoying thing is knowing that somewhere hidden on the game at the moment is Aleister Black and the Hardy Boys and Drew McIntyre. And I've got all those guys downloaded as cores on this roster at the moment. It'd be just... I just prefer it so much if I could just use them, to be honest. Nice Northern Light suplex there by Dalton Castle and Akira Tozawa catching him. Akira Tozawa's very dark, isn't he? I don't think he was that dark. It was a bit lighter than that. I like Akira Tozawa though. I'd seen Akira Tozawa for a good few years before his WWE debut, of course, in the Cruiserweight Classic. I watched him in Dragon Gate USA quite a bit. There's Dalton Castle. Yeah, the course looks pretty good in the loading screens and so forth. Well, I say pretty good. They looked as good as they need to, but I feel like a new Aleister Black and a new Dalton Castle I needed. To be honest, this is a much better Dalton Castle than the one I had before. Literally, I've only just downloaded this one shortly before recording this video. The one I had before was atrocious, really, in fairness. Aleister Black taking Dalton Castle down off the top. Now Black sit out scoop slam there on Akira Tozawa as well. Dalton Castle back up to his feet. I am looking forward to the action we're going to see here this evening. Like I said, Wade Barrett versus Kenny Omega in that main event. The winner will go on to face off against Hiroshi Tanahashi at the first pay-per-view, which is in 3 or 4 weeks' time, something like that. And Kalisto versus Mistico versus Gran. Metalik. We're going to have a real high-flying spectacle, that triple threat. And the Fatal 4-Way as well of all the 4 women from the Mae Young Classic. Dakota Kai, Toni Storm, Tessa Blanchard, and Jazzy Galbert is going to be an interesting one as well. I'm looking forward to that. As well as, of course, talking about people that were struggling on the previous season of 2K17. Neville down on 81 ranking points, nearly bottom. I think only Tetsuya Naito and Aleister Black are below him. That's how important this match is to Black as well. Of course, this match is a triple threat, so it's worth 10 points. So it's very important. Is it 10 points? It is 10 points, isn't it? Yeah. 10 points for a triple threat, 20 points for a Fatal 4-Way, 30 points for a 6-Way, 40 points for an 8-Way. But Aleister Black here needs a good run here then. He's on 78 ranking points, of course. A lot of that was from his tag team run in Season 2 alongside Michael Dante. He didn't have a lot of singles time, but even when he did have singles time, he lost those matches as well. So it's going to be important for Aleister Black to start things off well. Dalton Castle on 130 points, Akira Tozawa on 125. So, yeah, really, Aleister Black is the lowest in this match by quite a considerable way. And like I said, a big swing here for him would be a massive thing as he lines up here a coup de grace, the double foot stomp on Akira Tozawa, but Dalton Castle's back up on his feet now. And Dalton Castle now just taking Aleister Black down and yanking that arm back. And a bit of an arm breaker there as well. Dalton Castle now catching Akira Tozawa in with that Saito suplex, and Castle now looking for a deadlift German. Wow, what a maneuver that is. One of Akira Tozawa's big maneuvers, actually. And there it is, the Bamalang, I think it's called in this game. It's a real weird one, isn't it? Dalton Castle goes to the pin. 1, 2. Akira Tozawa's there. No, he doesn't get there in time, and Dalton Castle picks up the victory. And he continues to pick up more and more points. Wow. And bad for Aleister Black. He continues to drop. Aleister Black's now bottom of the rankings on 73 points. We need Aleister Black to have a good run here, don't we? We need him to turn around for him. Right. I'm going to give Aleister Black a match next week to try and turn his luck around, because he's just not having a good time, is he, at the moment? That's all. There's that big finisher there by Dalton Castle. And Akira Tozawa's just slightly too slow to get back in the ring. And of course, we are getting match ratings now, which is pretty cool, as we found out on Mayhem yesterday. Let's see what this one got. I think the majority of Mayhem matches yesterday averaged out about 3 stars. So it'll be interesting to see what this match got. I just realised that Dalton Castle looks a bit more like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, to be honest. He does look a bit like Zlatan. Wow, he does look like Zlatan. So 2.5 stars for that match, which is not a big surprise because it was quite a short one. And here we go again for and here we go then for our first women's match of Octane. It's going to be Tessa Blanchard versus Dakota Kai versus Jazzy Galbert versus Toni Storm in a Fatal 4-Way. Now this one is not for anything in particular, it's literally just for ranking points. So that's the Weird and Wonderful Way. Of course, we will be crowning a #1 contender for the Women's Championship, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, we've got an 8-person over-the-top rope battle royal planned for a couple of weeks. So this is a great chance for one of these 4 ladies to get some momentum moving into this match. And I'll tell you what, this Dakota Kai doesn't look too bad, actually. I mean, the attire's spot on. The face isn't too bad. There's a bit of discoloration on the cheek there, but the face isn't too bad. It's the face scans sometimes just don't work out too well. If you don't know what you're doing with the face scan, they don't work out that well. She has got a nose ring, though, which is pretty well made, because that's what she has in real life, isn't she? Yeah, just that, see the discoloration there on the cheek. As here comes the second entrant into the match, it is going to be, eventually, somebody's coming, aren't they? There she is, Jazzy Galbert. Again, looking pretty good, actually. Maybe not perfect. The tattoos are a little bit out. Not like they're wrong, but they're just not blended in very well with the body. But apart from that, face-wise is okay, hair's okay. I think attire's spot on. I think attire's something you can't really get that wrong, can you, really? They've done really well there with the German flag. It'd be interesting to see how she performs in the ring as well. And I'd be surprised if she doesn't get signed up, you know. And I know it was chanted quite a lot during the Mae Young Classic of please sign Jazzy, and Triple H came out and made a joke and said, come on guys, you almost made me bankrupt for the last tournament with signing all those people. But I don't know, I'd just be surprised. She got over so well with the crowd, and she could really do a fantastic job as a dominant heel wrestler. And I feel that's something that WWE should look at. As here comes then Tessa Blanchard, which in my opinion is possibly one of the better calls we've got so far. I'm pretty sure this is probably one of the better calls we've got so far. She looks probably the best. I think so. Attire's spot on. Face is blended quite nicely with the face scan. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this one, to be honest. Strutting down to the ring. I reckon that Tessa Blanchard could be a force to be reckoned with here on our Octane roster. One of my earliest picks, I think, with the female division. I've not got my draft list. I've put it somewhere and I can't find it now. But I've got my list of people, but I've not got who I picked in. I know my first female pick, I believe, was the final lady in this match, wasn't it? Yeah, Tessa Blanchard definitely, for me, is probably one of the better looking calls here. And of course, my first pick for Octane this year was this lady right here. Miss Toni Storm again. Spot on attire. Apart from maybe a pair of glasses for the entrance. But face might be a little bit out. I don't know. It's not bad. It does the trick. Bit of a heel entrance going on here, but I like it. Must admit, the trunks look a bit weird. I'm quite sure what's wrong with them, but her trunks do look a bit weird. They don't look like they're proper trunks. They look like they might be like painted on her. I'm not sure about that, but we'll have to have a look. I'm sure there'll be some good ones going forward. And here we go then. Dakota Kai, Jazzy Galbert, Tessa Blanchard, and Toni Storm all collide in a fatal four-way match. This is elimination as well, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So, of course, Jazzy Galbert instantly just demolishing Toni Storm. Yeah, so, of course, last person surviving wins the match. But it's not going to be a luck of the draw situation. You have to get past all your other three opponents to actually win this one. And Jazzy Galbert straight away again. Just demolishing Toni Storm here, middle of the ring. Lovely kick there by Dakota Kai on the outside as well. As Jazzy Galbert now taking Toni Storm up. Deadlift, gut wrench, sit out, powerbomb. Wow. Toni Storm though catching Galbert out there with the Hurricanrana. And I know there's action going outside as well, but I always tend to stick to what's inside. Of course, this is an elimination match, but pinfalls and submissions only take place inside the ring. So at the moment, Toni Storm and Jazzy Galbert's the only one who could really be eliminated, as Tessa Blanchard and Dakota Kai fight on the outside. Dakota Kai's attire looks fantastic, doesn't it? Nice armbar there by Toni Storm, middle of the ring. And Jazzy Galbert now back up, slamming Toni Storm face first. And oh, Tessa Blanchard there just powerbombed Dakota Kai on the outside. Dakota Kai fighting Blanchard away. There's the boot in the gut now, hops on her back. Sunset flip powerbomb on the outside as Jazzy Galbert continuing the assault on Toni Storm, but Toni Storm Reversed it, taking her down with the snapmare. Now locking in the head scissors. Jazzy Galbert now dragging Toni Storm along and props her up against the rope. What's she got planned here? Went for the big boot, but Toni Storm caught the leg and tripping Jazzy over now. Rolls her over into the half Boston Crab. Now this is a good plan here by Toni Storm, just trying to take the big redwood down by taking away the trunk, but obviously the trunk was a lot stronger than Toni Storm was. Backbreaker there by Jazzy Galbert as now she lines up the elbow drop. Nice complete shot down the outside by Tessa Blanchard on Dakota Kai as well. Tessa Blanchard now, nice butterfly powerbomb on the outside. Yeah, so like I said, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have an 8-lady over the top rope battle royal to become the #1 contender. That match is also going to contain these 4 ladies, as well as Maurice, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and Piper Niven as well. Got such a strong women's division here as... Oh, here we go, Tessa Blanchard and Jazzy Galbert now, all just swapping opponents there. Interesting. I thought they might be going after each other, but it's almost like the two heels there have some sort of unwritten plan there to just take these 2 ladies down. Oh, wow, 2 big maneuvers there as well. Oh, no, it's pulse count anywhere. 1, 2, only a 2 count there as Jazzy Galbert slamming Dakota Kai down. Another pin. The referee's going to get all the way around the ring now. But it might still be enough to eliminate Dakota Kai. 1, 2, and 3, and Dakota Kai is gone, eliminated by Jazzy Galbert. Ace Crusher there by Tessa Blanchard on Toni Storm as well. Dropping that back senton. And here comes Jazzy Galbert. Oh, catching Tessa Blanchard. Knee in the face, and Tessa Blanchard has dominated her opponent for most of this. So she's not taking a lot of damage, but Jazzy Galbert now dropping a gut first across the barrier, and a big boot in the side of the head as well. And Tessa Blanchard finally being welcomed into the match the hard way. I was convinced. I don't know how I've made this an all falls count anywhere match. I must have done it. I like that though. I think it's nice. I think it works a bit better on this game mode. That's German suplex there by Toni Storm, who then glitches to the ground as Jazzy Galbert drops a knee right in the back of the head of Toni Storm and slamming her face first into the matting on the outside. And Jazzy Galbert has really shown some real strength here and some dominance as well, and I'd be surprised if she doesn't walk away here with these 20 ranking points. There's the pin by Tessa Blanchard on Toni Storm. And it is an elimination. We're down to our final 2, and there's no surprise with the final 2, but there could be a surprise here. Tessa Blanchard, butterfly suplex on Jazzy Galbert. If Blanchard could pull this one off, you know, that would be a massive victory for her. But of course it is all or nothing, because second place gets you nothing in these elimination matches. Although she may have eliminated someone, it's all or nothing. The winner of this one gets 20, the loser gets nothing. Jazzy there with a reverse DDT. And a big knee right in the face of Tessa. And another big strong knee strike right in the side of the face. And another strong knee strike right in the side of the face as well. A boot in the face there by Jazzy Galbert as then brings Tessa back up. Another strong knee, and wow. Tessa can only last so long with this, surely. Boom, another strong knee right in the side of the head. How is Tessa still even going? She must be half concussed by now, surely. Taking Jazzy up onto her shoulder. Trying to catch her on that barricade, but Jazzy fell down the back and chop blocked Tessa, who avoided the kick, but now Jazzy again getting control. Running Bulldog on the outside. Oh, went to drop that back senton. She's hit that a few times this match so far, but Jazzy saw it coming and got the knees up, but still Tessa in control. And there it is, the DDT. She had the arm hooked. Is this going to be enough? She's got to go for the pin after that. Sure, that was a big high impact maneuver. Wow, she did not go for the pin. Now just rubbing the face of Jazzy Galbert in the mat, and an elbow right in the spine as well. Stunned by Tessa Blanchard's disregard for a pin there. And Jazzy Galbert now just taking her down and slamming her with the punches. Jazzy now taking Tessa up into that two-handed front choke slam. And that, my friends, could be game, set, match here for Tessa Blanchard. Oh, she'd be so lucky as Jazzy lining Tessa up. This is how she eliminated Dakota Kai. Bang! That, my friends, has got to be game, set, match. Referee comes. Was a bit out of position there, the referee. But Jazzy Galbert gets the victory. Or Jazzy Galbert, you know what I mean. She gets the victory there. And gets herself 20 ranking points. Which instantly makes her third in the rankings, of course. Becky Lynch is on 145. Lita is on 198, of course, women's champion. Although we have changed it this year. Remember, if you do lose a championship, you lose 50 ranking points in the process as well. So, if Lita loses that belt, she's going to come straight back down to around about the same as Becky Lynch is now anyway. And Jazzy Galbert is definitely up there as well. And like I said, the ranking points have stayed in this universe mode. However, the momentum was completely started from fresh. And Jazzy Galbert now is the person with all the momentum as she takes 20 ranking points here as well. And a 3.5-star rated match. Nice. I like that. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be your current Octane champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi, taking on one member of the Bullet Club stable, Cody Rhodes. Let us go. Now, this will be interesting. This will be very interesting. First time I'm going to see both of these calls, so hopefully they're looking pretty good. Let's see what we get here from Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh, he does look pretty... He looks pretty decent. The only main problem is, of course, is just everything glitching through his coat. Maybe the face is a bit out, but it's not bad for now. It's the only Tanahashi I could find that was half decent available for now anyway. So we'll take him for now. Like I said, the last thing we want to do is get to the first pay-per-view and have nobody to defend the championship, basically. So this will do for now. Of course, he has actually had his hair cut now in real life. He's got short hair now. Not like really short hair, but sort of like shoulder length. So we'll have to try and find a different version with the correct hairstyle on as well. But I think for now it's perfectly usable. Like I said, it's still very early on in the universe mode, so it's and the life of this computer game, so it's very difficult to find some very good calls at this point in time. But we will continue to strive forward every single day. I come home and the first thing I do is put community creations on and see if anybody's uploaded some new ones today. But yeah, this will be interesting. A big match as well for Cody Rhodes, who has an opportunity here to face off 1-against-1 against the champion here. And of course, if Cody Rhodes was to win this one, he would get 50 ranking points. That's what you get for beating a champion. On top of his 5 he's already going to get for winning the match, of course. Which means that Cody Rhodes is currently on 95. If he wins this match, he'll be up at 150. So that's a big one for him. As here comes Cody Rhodes then. In theory, where is he? Cody. I saw a story about Cody Rhodes the other day. Oh, he doesn't look too bad, does he? Face is a little bit out, but apart from that, everything else is pretty good. Yeah, I saw a story about Cody Rhodes yesterday saying that since he's left WWE, he's earning significantly more money than what he was with the WWE, and he's in control of his own merchandise, and he's in control of his own schedule as well. So he's so happy, I think, at the moment, and it makes you wonder why people do go to WWE at this point in time. The independent wrestling scene is so strong now that there's no need to, is there really? There's no need to when you've got your New Japan dates, your Ring of Honor dates, and I'm sure he did a little bit of TNA for a little bit, didn't he, as well? Which didn't last very long. He's done his PWG, of course. He's working up and down all America, all across the UK, and across the world, really, now, isn't he? And he's just earning a ton more money now. Pro Wrestling Tees probably helps him out quite a lot, doesn't it, I suppose? So here we go then. Oh, the Cody gets worse the more you look at him, I think. But there we go, we're underway. Cody Rhodes versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Big one here for Cody then. Like I said, a chance to take on your Octane champion. And of course, the big thing here is that... of course, that like I said before in the last match, momentum is completely scrapped. It's completely gone fresh for the new season. So there's a good chance here that Cody could pull something out of the bag if he can get an early advantage, I think. That's going to be the main thing in this match. This jawbreaker there by Tanahashi. And a beautiful dropkick as well. And a boot right in the chest of Cody Rhodes. And Tanahashi would love to start things off strong here with a victory, because of course he'll be defending his belt in a few weeks' time against the winner of our main event here this evening, Kenny Omega and Wade Barrett. I'm glad I got Wade Barrett, you know, but I think Wade Barrett's probably one of the better calls we've got so far, and of course you'll see him in the main event. Kenny Omega's decent. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's decent. It's definitely Kenny Omega, you can tell that. But it's not, I don't think it's going to be our final draft of Omega. And that could cause a little bit of a problem with momentum and so forth, switching the calls around, but I'm sure we can sort it out. Nice frog splash there to the back by Cody Rhodes. I don't think he quite got as much as he wanted, and it caused him a bit of damage as well, but I think he seems to be okay. I'm looking forward to this triple threat cruiserweight match as well. Kalisto versus Mistico versus Gran Metalik. You got three of the best high flyers the world has seen colliding, and the winner goes on to face off against Hiromu Takahashi at the pay-per-view for the Cruiserweight Championship as well. Cody Rhodes now with Tanahashi up and slams him into the turnbuckle, and then a running power slam as well. And you'd have to think I've made this match with Omega and Barrett in the main event, but if Cody Rhodes was to pick up a victory here over the Octane champion Tanahashi, would that thrust Cody Rhodes into the championship picture, do you reckon? It can't do him any harm. Like I said, he's going to get 50 ranking points out of it, which would put him... Well, the Bushi's on 180. The Bucks are on 150. Pete Dunne's on 166. So it'd probably put him definitely in the top 10. Hiroshi Tanahashi's on 203 at the moment. Will Ospreay's on 135 as well. So there's... Well, if you want to find out exactly where it should be, then of course you can check out the links in the description below, which will take you over to the blogger page. There's that reverse Bloody Sunday there by Hiroshi Tanahashi on Cody Rhodes, who rolls out of the ring. Stays on the apron though, and catches Tanahashi into a springboard dropkick. Lovely move there by Cody Rhodes, bringing Tanahashi back up, and now looking for that Alabama slam, and he hits it, harnessing the spirit there of Hardcore Holly. Tanahashi now with the arm breaker on Cody Rhodes, sending Cody over the top, and now Tanahashi looking for that vertical suplex over that rope. And Tanahashi signaling there. He feels like he's in control of this match now, and he is well in control of this match, isn't he, really? Russian leg sweep. Of course, remember, Tanahashi does like to go for the frog splash as a finisher. I thought he was going to go for it there, but I think Cody's a little bit... Oh, no, he's going up to the middle rope now. Nice little senton from the middle rope. I think he might have been thinking about the frog splash, but Cody was just not placed very well. Sling blade there by Tanahashi, and Cody gets straight back up, and Cody now catching Tanahashi with the Salido Soul. There's the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Where did that come from by Cody Rhodes? That Salido Soul. Obviously, Cody's been learning quite a lot of new maneuvers while he's on the indie scene. You gotta do that, ain't you, really? What about Cody now lining up Tanahashi? If he can hit a crossroads, which he does hit on Tanahashi, this could be a big maneuver here for Cody. There's the pin. Wow, referee, you are so slow. 1, 2, and Cody's done it. Wow. Cody Rhodes defeated the Octane champion. Cody, you've just earned yourself a hell of a lot of points, my friend. 55 ranking points. That is massive, but Tanahashi shows that he still has the belt. He's still the champion. And it's going to take... Oh, hello. Hello indeed, it's Kenny Omega. Like I said, Omega is part of that main event here this evening, and part of the Bullet Club stable alongside Cody Rhodes, coming out here to a bit of a stare down there with Tanahashi. And there we go then, it's going to be a 3-star result, and a big, big win there for Cody Rhodes. And is Kenny Omega getting a bit cocky here? Coming out and eyeing up Tanahashi, but he's still got to get past Wade Barrett in the main event if he wants that match. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be Aiden English taking on the British Bulldog. Where, of course, Dynamite Kid at ringside. Of course, the other half of the British Bulldogs. Then we've got down to a tag team match at some point, hopefully. Hopefully. Can't see it. Here we go to Aiden English. Let's hope that we don't... Is it going to go to the little thing? I don't know. I don't think it does with the singles entrance, does it? So there we go, we're okay. I'm just thinking if it goes to the old, if it goes to the guy with the megaphone shouting on the little screen, it's a prayer problem. Basically, anything that's on the game that's a video, that overtakes the whole screen triggers WWE's copyright bot they've got on YouTube. So thankfully that doesn't happen anymore with Aiden English. I like Aiden English, you know. And I don't want to say that Simon Gotch was bringing him down, because I think the tag team had potential, and the tag team worked very well in NXT. But I want to see some more of Aiden English. I reckon Aiden English could be a good wrestler for us. And I know he's not actually English, but his name's English, so yeah, let's put him up against some English people. Yeah, I like him, and I think at the moment he's having a chance to show what he's all about. This little run he's had with Rusev. He got a victory over Randy Orton a few weeks ago, didn't he, as well? I know it was a cheap victory, like, but still. And I really want to see some better things for Aiden English, I really do. And who knows, here in SWE, he could get just that. But a good opening match against the British Bulldog here could be make or break for him, really. Here they come, then, the British Bulldog and the Dynamite Kid. We will see these two guys in tag team action at some point, but tonight it's all about Bulldog getting some singles action. Bulldog currently on 96 ranking points. Did a okay time on 2K17. He won some, he lost some, and he ended up more or less where he started. Well, 4 points lower than he started, but of course a victory here would put him back over that 100 mark, back to 101, which would put him ahead of a lot of people, because of course we've got quite a few new people on the roster here in 2K18 for Octane. I think out of all the brands, I'm the person who's got the most new people on this brand. And that includes some people we might not get to see for a while. And nice little handshake there for the two guys. I've not seen... Yeah, that's interesting. Bit of respect being shown by these two guys. That was a cutscene. This is not a rivalry match or anything. There's just a little cutscene there between the two of them, showing a little bit of respect being brewed between the two, which is nice. Yeah, I'm still struggling to get a hold... I knew this was going to happen when I picked them, like, but still... I'm struggling to get a hold of the Dark Breed, which of course is Ultramantis Black, Hallow Wicked, and Frightmare. And of course the Colony as well, Red Ants, Green Ant, and Soldier Ant, I believe it is. Which I'm sure we'll be able to find them at some point. They were on last year's game, I found them. I just thought it'd be a nice little mixture, just some extra stables to have. I think they're probably the Ants will end up probably being jobbers, to be honest with you. Everyone likes to tread on the Ants, don't they? As Bulldog taking it to Aiden English here quite early. Quite strong. So I wonder, you know they've got this new thing on the game now with potential rivalries. I wonder if the potential rivalries are, as we've seen with that little handshake, does that give a potential friendly rivalry between the two? I don't know. It's an interesting one. Definitely interesting. Aiden English now sending British Bulldog off the ropes. And over the top he goes, crashing to the ground. English avoids... Well, Bulldog, sorry, avoiding their knee from English. Sorry, had a big sip of drink in the middle of that one and I got completely lost. As Bulldog now stamping on the arm of English now, pulling him back into that camel clutch submission. But of course Aiden English was just too close to the ropes, and Bulldog comes running back with that double axe handle to the back, and this is almost ended up looking like a bit of a squash match here at the moment. Big gorilla press there by Bulldog, and this could end up being a squash match here as Bulldog stalking Aiden English. Up onto the shoulders. There's the running power slam. Hook in the legs. Oh, it's too close. I've got to take the rope breaks off, haven't I? I didn't want to take the rope breaks off, but it's just going to cause these problems again, isn't it, that we saw in 2K17, so I'm going to have to switch them off, aren't I? It's not a problem for pinfalls and that, but the thing is, I wouldn't mind, like, when people grab a hold of the ropes and put their foot on the rope, that's fine, I don't mind that at all, but when they're close to the ropes, and the referee says, no, I'm not counting that. It just frustrates me. I know it's the rule in real wrestling is if you're underneath the ropes, you don't count it, but... Oh, nice half Nelson slam there by Aiden English. Now backs away into a corner, just taking a rest as Bulldog slowly trying to crawl to the corner to get back up to his feet, using the ropes as support, but English catches him. English now... Nice. Nice. 1, 2, and Bulldog kicked out literally on the brink of 3. Now, Aiden English is down on 83 points at the moment, which is probably roughly where... I don't think English should be at the bottom of the rankings by any stretch of the imagination, but he should be in the middle of the rankings, in my opinion. I see English as a mid-carder. Somebody who we might see as a part of a tournament here and there. I'm quite sure what tournament he'd fit into, to be honest, but I'm sure there'll be something for him at some point. Nice. Dropping Bulldog flat in his face, and Aiden English now in full control of this match, but Bulldog rolls out the way, and now, oh, clothesline right to the back of Aiden English. Bulldog catching Aiden English, just dragging him around, and drops him with a snapmare right in front of Dynamite, and then big elbows right in the shoulder of Aiden English. As Dynamite now raining the punches into the face of English as well. Bulldog just stared at the back of English there for a second, and then he just left English a bit too long, and English was able to break free. Nice angle slam there by Aiden English. Now dragging Bulldog away from the ropes and drops into the pin once again. And Bulldog's struggling here. English has really taken a bit of control. So ever since being caught with that running power slam, English has just sort of turned the match around now. And Aiden English taunting away at the crowd. Whereas I think he needs to continue paying attention to the task in hand, which is Bulldog, who now is back up to his feet. But English catches him once again up onto the shoulders. And drops him chest first across that top rope. Now English dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. English dragging Bulldog across the ring. He's got his feet up on the ropes. Referee doesn't see it. 1, 2, only a 2 count. They haven't changed that yet, have they? It still frustrates me then that that they don't fix that animation. It's like there's no way that the ref would wait for you to put your feet up on the ropes before counting that, would they? As there's the gorilla press once again by Bulldog. Now the problem is with Bulldog's finisher is if he doesn't hit it in the right place, he will end up, and he's not going to hit it in the right place here either. It's going to end up being a rope break again, isn't it? So they don't test these people out, do they? Because this is what's going to happen then. Bulldog's going to go running power slam. And again, rope break. Oh, it's... Yeah, they've not tested this out, WWE, because this is the problem. This is just going to keep happening, and you won't... Normally, they won't go for a pin unless they've just hit the finisher maneuver. Which Bulldog needs to do now. He needs to go for a pin, because he probably could win it. Went for the ace crusher, but... Aiden English fighting back. I think English is going to win this one now, you know. I think English is definitely going to win this one. It's all down to the game mechanics rather than anything that a Bulldog's done. But English, you know what? Good on you, mate. Good on you. Pinned by Bulldog. 1, 2... Oh my god, he's... What? Okay. Okay. Well, it makes perfect sense for that to happen like that. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I thought the way that match was going and Bulldog having his finisher kicked out of twice because of the rope break, I thought that was done and dusted. I thought that was always going to be Aiden English's match, but... Bulldog just clattered straight for English, almost like a pounce, and was able to get the pinfall from it. So okay, that proves me right for saying that it was never going to happen that way, and it happened that way. See, that's frustrating. That you see the way that the referee waits and waits and waits and waits and waits until both your feet are on the ropes. This is the problem we've got here. You see that running power slam, and that counts as a pin. That counts as a rope break. Sorry, from the pin. And Bulldog then picks up the victory. So 5 points are going to Bulldog. He's going back up over 100. That puts him on 101. And Dynamite is someone you could see going for the Cruiserweight Championship here on Octane as well, couldn't you, really? That could definitely be something for him. And I'll tell you what, I'll give it to Aiden English. He looked pretty good here this evening, and he had a few opportunities to maybe push on and win this one himself. So I wouldn't say this is the end of the line for Aiden English here. I wouldn't say he's destined to be a jobber on Octane, because I feel like there could be some good stuff here for Aiden English, and I feel like we should see him again. I think I've got him penciled in for a match in a couple of weeks' time. Okay. Well, apparently this is a rivalry. I don't know about a rivalry. I've not set a rivalry up. What? I'm confused here. This is not a rivalry match. It was a 4-star match, though. Okay. I'm really confused. We did get a cutscene at the beginning, but I don't know who... Who's the rivalry? Who's in the rivalry? Well, Bulldog or Dynamite Kid does have an enemy of... who is that? I don't know who that is. Looks like it might be Dean Malenko, maybe? I don't know who that is, but... Yeah, there is no rivalry. I don't know. Let's just ignore it, eh? But it's a big one. Look at that height and drama, 2,550. A 4-star match. I mean, it's the best match we've had so far in the Universe mode. And here we go then. Here is our triple threat Cruiserweight Masterclass here. Gran Metalik, Kalisto and Sin Cara all collide for the chance to face off against Hiromu Takahashi at our first pay-per-view in a few weeks' time for that Cruiserweight. We're not actually... No, I'm gonna undo myself there straight away. We're going to change things up a little bit just to save confusion, because I know it was something that was brought up a few times in 2K17. I'm rebranding the Octane Championship as the Octane Junior Heavyweight Championship rather than Cruiserweight. So that way we're going to have, yeah. We're going to have the Junior Heavyweight Championship here on Octane, the Cruiserweight Championship over on Adrenaline, and then it's an X Division Championship style thing over on Carnage. Still haven't named that yet, to be honest, though. So Kalisto is in the ring. The current WWE Cruiserweight Champion at this point in time of recording. And of course he used to be tag team partners with Mistico. Mistico is, if you don't know, Mistico is basically Sin Cara. But when they signed Mistico, he was too dangerous. He kept getting injured too often. So they kept the gimmick of Sin Cara and they gave it to Hunico instead, and then released this guy who went back on the indie scene as Mistico. Of course, not this guy. This guy is Gran Metalik, who's done the odd little bit and bob with WWE. Not 100% sure how much he's doing. I don't often get to watch 205 Live, to be honest. I'm sure he's contracted, but he doesn't seem to wrestle as much as some of the other guys do. Maybe he's more house shows, maybe. I'm not sure, to be honest. But obviously he gets pulled out of the bag whenever they go and do a tour of South America and so forth. And the first time I'm going to get a real chance to look at both Kalisto and Gran Metalik on this game. Of course, I believe that Gran Metalik was involved in a big match in our draft, but of course, during our draft, I wasn't really paying too much attention to what was going on in the ring, as I was trying to obviously pick the best people possible for our brand. And Octane was a struggle. I think we did okay in Octane, though. I think we did do okay. We got a few people that can definitely help us out in the main event. Maybe we're still lacking a little bit of strength and depth, but I'm happy what we got. I think once we get the rest of the downloads done, we should be okay. There is Sin Cara then. He's basically not Sin Cara, sorry. Mistico. I should not call him Sin Cara. Peter Toby's got Sin Cara, I believe. I don't think I have. Shame we could have done a nice little match there. Sin Cara versus Mistico. And here we go then. We're underway. Triple threat Cruiserweight match. Winner goes on to face off against Hiromu Takahashi at the pay-per-view for the Junior Heavyweight Championship here on Octane. That's a Russian leg sweep there by Kalisto on Mistico. Kalisto bringing Mistico back up into a crucifix bomb. And you'll see one of the big differences between Sin Cara and Mistico is the lack of the big tattoo on the arm, which is a tattoo you can find on the arm of Hunico. Remember Hunico? He was, for a short period of time, himself, Camacho were with Epico and Primo down in NXT. Camacho, of course, left, went to TNA and became Mika, and then left TNA and went to New Japan to become Tangaloa. Of course, in real life, in real life, he's adopted brother of Tama Tonga. And the adopted son of Haku. There you go, random wrestling stuff here for you that you've got no interest in. Nice DDT, great way to escape from the powerbomb there by Mistico. And Kalisto follows it up though with that springboard 450 for the middle rope, I think it was. Oh, nice running dropkick there by Gran Metalik. I think he's hurt himself more than what he hurt Kalisto, to be honest. Kalisto trying to pull Mistico away from the ropes. Kalisto, oh, nice spinning back heel kick. Really catching Gran Metalik out, brings him back up to his feet. There's the Hurricanrana. Kalisto now then. Nice suplex. Little snap suplex to Kalisto back up on the middle rope again. 450. It's a little Phoenix splash, isn't it, actually, from the middle rope. And Gran Metalik stamps on the back of the head of Kalisto and tries to steal the pin. But it's not quite enough. So we start things off with a very Mexican-style cruiserweight. We've got quite a lot of that, actually. We've got a lot of Mexican-style cruiserweight here. And we've got quite a few Americans as well, though. We've got Prince Puma, who'll be making his debut sooner or later. We've got Neville, who we'll see later on this evening. Kota Ibushi again, but he'll probably be more main event this year, I believe. And we've got Bushi as part of the LIG stable. He's a cruiserweight. Andrew Everett. He's a good cruiserweight. Akira Tozawa, as we mentioned earlier on. We've got Takahashi. We've got Jack Gallagher. Juventud Guerrera. Will Ospreay. Tyson Kidd. Tony Nese. A real good mixture. Sammy Guevara as well. Real good mixture of cruiserweights. Flash Morgan Webster. Now, I have downloaded a Flash Morgan Webster, but I'm not keen on it. But well, if we don't get a better one, we will have to use him sooner or later anyway. Nice pinfall there by Kalisto, rolling Mistico through. Only for a 2, and Mistico rolls it through, and Gran Metalik there just sort of floated across the ring like Jesus. There are quite a few issues with the AI just sort of getting confused here and there, aren't we? They're just like, they're doing half a manoeuvre, then just sort of forgetting, like, hang on a minute, what did I come here for? You know, like when you walk into your living room and you're like, I came in the living room for a reason, I can't remember what it was now. That's sort of like what they're doing. It's like, I picked them off my shoulders and I knew I was going to do something with them, I can't remember what I was supposed to do, and that's just, yeah, it's a bit iffy here and there, isn't it? Mistico now gets caught out by Gran Metalik in the corner. Metalik taking Mistico up on his shoulder, drops him in the snake eyes. I'm surprised. I thought we'd see some more high-flying manoeuvres here this evening, but so far not as many as I expected. There's the pin by Gran Metalik, only there for a 1 count. Tell you what, these 3 guys would make a great stable as well, wouldn't they? We could reform a Lucha Dragons. That could definitely be a good one. Salida del Sol, and it's a rope break again. Wow. Yeah, we've definitely got to turn rope breaks off. It didn't affect us too much in the Mayhem show, I must admit, but in this one, we've got more guys that seem to have finisher maneuvers that end in a pinfall. And this is going to be another situation, is it? No, it's not a pinfall ending, that one. As Gran Metalik, as well as Mistico, back up to his feet, but Gran Metalik catching Mistico unaware straight away into that Saito suplex, and now Gran Metalik getting a little bit of a taunt on with the crowd there, and bringing Kalisto back up to his feet. You see Mistico still down on the outside. Nice suplex again by Gran Metalik. So going to go for here. Springboard elbow drop. Lovely move. And Metalik now lining Kalisto up. Mistico slowly getting back onto his feet on the outside though. Oh, nice. Nice slam there by Metalik. And if Kalisto can get Gran Metalik out the ring, he could steal the win here, but no. Metalik fighting back. Sending Mistico into the corner. Mistico taking Gran Metalik down though. Clubbing blow against the back and another one as well. So of course this is the debut of Mistico and Gran Metalik in SWE. Kalisto was part of our Octane brand last year and of course actually won the King of the Cruiserweight tournament as well. He had a decent time in 2K17. Wasn't actually able to capitalise on the King of the Cruiserweight win though, was he? I believe he did get an opportunity at the Cruiserweight Championship, which he didn't win, which was against Kushida, who had won the belt pretty easily. There's the pin. It's only for a 2 count. Drop kick in the back of the head there by Kalisto on Sin Cara. Metalik went for a running drop kick and missed it. I don't like Gran Metalik. He just doesn't seem very good, does he? Kalisto rolling Metalik through. There's a kick in the side of the head. Kalisto dragging Metalik away from the ropes. Is he going to go for a pin now? He does go for the pin. Is it going to be enough, though? 1, 2... Oh, I thought it was, you know. I thought it was. It was so close. So close. It's Kalisto now with the head scissors. And Kalisto now stalking Gran Metalik. But Mistico catches him unaware in that Saito suplex. And now Mistico, there's the tornado into the armbar. This is his finishing maneuver. Is it going to be enough? It is, and Mistico wins the match. And Mistico is going on to the pay-per-view to fight it out for the Cruiserweight Championship against Hiromu Takahashi. And Mistico also gets himself 10 ranking points on his debut here in SWE as Gran Metalik drops down to 95. And Kalisto's also going to drop down. And where's Kalisto? He's on 123. He's going to drop down to 118 now. So unfortunately there for Kalisto. He started off things in a very strong position this Universe mode, didn't he? 123. That was mainly due to his run in the King of the Cruiserweight tournament, like I said. But Kalisto will argue that he probably did a lot of the damage there. That boot to the side of the head of Gran Metalik, who, let's face it, Gran Metalik wasn't the strongest member of this match. Let's just say that for a start. He struggled here, didn't he? And I feel like he might struggle moving forward a bit more. But we'll keep giving him opportunities and see what happens. And there we go then. Sin Cara victorious. I kept saying Mistico victorious. Good win for him. Very good win. And Takahashi awaits. 3 stars. And here we go then. Here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be the King of the Cruiserweights, Neville, versus one half of the Fashion Police, Tyler Breeze. It should be a pretty good match, this one. I like Tyler Breeze as well. I feel like he's someone that we should be giving a bit more of an opportunity to. Somebody who's not necessarily been treated fantastically well on the main roster in WWE. Talking of which, here's Neville. He's someone who's really not been treated very well in the main roster of WWE. He had such a good run in NXT and proved how good of a wrestler he was. And people like him. And he's had such a good run in the Cruiserweight division, and still WWE just mistreat him over and over again. I mean, going into a main event on Raw and scheduled to lose against Enzo Amore, I just can't understand the logic behind any of it. I just don't understand it at all. Neville should be the face of that industry, should be the face of that division, and he had been for quite some time, and to use him to put over someone like Enzo Amore was just shocking, really. It really, really was. It really was, and I really hope there is a comeback for Neville here, because I'm so disappointed to see him leave WWE, especially on such bad terms as well. And it frustrates me more than anything. It really does. But he's got a chance in SWE to show exactly what he can do. And as I said during the draft, Neville for us is not going to be involved in the Cruiserweight division or the Junior Heavyweight division. It's going to take me a while to get that right, I think. He's not going to be involved in the Junior Heavyweight division. He is solely going to be involved in the big end of the card. But of course, it's going to take him a little bit of time to get where he needs to be, because Neville comes to us as one of the lowest rated guys in SWE on 81 ranking points. So basically, he needs to win 4 matches before he gets back up to the beginning of where he started Season 2 at, essentially. I like this. Good old Tyler Breeze. Good old Fandango. Well, I do have these 2 guys scheduled in for a tag team match next week. It is planned to be against Mustache Mountain. Now, I've got a half-decent Mustache Mountain, but it might be a case of I wait on that match to get a better version. I don't know. They're not a bad version. We could still use them. They could still use them. Tyler Breeze. Again, I'm a fan of Tyler Breeze. I am. And Fandango by that matter as well. I know it's so easy to look at what they are and write them off, but at the same time, you've got to remember both these guys are talented wrestlers. You've got to remember that Tyler Breeze had a fantastic match in NXT against Jushin Thunder Liger. Tyler Breeze had a cracking triple threat match for #1 contendership to the NXT Championship. Okay. That's a weird cutscene, because that is not actually... There's no feud going on. in this match. This is solely a match just to try and put one guy or the other on some ranking points. And the fact that Fandango's not even in the match, I don't know. I think we must be due a patch soon, because I don't think I've seen one for the first couple of weeks of the game. So you must be due a patch sooner or later. Stamp on the back of the arm there by Tyler Breeze, now bringing Neville back up to his feet. There's a Hurricanrana by Breeze on Neville. Breeze now bringing Neville back up to his feet. Yep, standing base. Dragging him along, and oh, Neville just launching Breeze over the top of the ropes. And both guys now drop to the outside, and it looks like Neville was trying to get a little bit of a break away from Breeze, but Breeze was straight on top of him once again, and straight into the barricade. And Breeze had a very strong start to this match, and Neville's rocking a bit here. Oh, I say that just as he drops him into some sort of sit-out F5 there by Neville. Now, of course, if you do win a match by count-out, you only get half the ranking points that what you would do normally. So that rounded up as well. So it would normally be 5 points. So if you win by count-out, you're only going to get 3. So it's more beneficial to get your opponent back in the ring. We're up to a 7 count now, though, and Neville does have Tyler Breeze back up on his feet and sends him back into the ring. Neville knows that he needs the big points here. He needs to get back on track. He needs to get back into the main part of the Octane roster if he wants to fight it out and go for the big championships. I promised Neville the opportunity is there, but he needs to prove to me that he deserves it. And at the moment, he's getting hammered here by Tyler Breeze, who just hits him with a beauty shot. Wow. Tyler Breeze, there's the pin. 1, 2, and Neville does kick out. Wow, Tyler Breeze. So at the moment, Tyler Breeze is on 100 points and Fandango's on 108. So these two guys can't be written off. And as I said, they're both good quality wrestlers. But I expected Neville to do a bit better here this evening. Although he is back up on his feet now and he's caught Tyler out. Bringing him back up to a kneeling base, now a standing base, and Neville just doing everything individually there for some reason. Big elbow right to the top of the forehead of Tyler Breeze. And Neville now just backing away into a corner, just taking a quick break. He's taken quite a beating early on, been caught with a beauty shot as well. And it just makes you wonder whether he now has control of the match, whether he can keep control of the match, whether Tyler Breeze might be able to get himself back in control of the match. There's the big uppercut by Tyler Breeze. And don't forget, we still have your main event here coming up after this match. It's Kenny Omega versus Wade Barrett. The winner will go on to face off against Tanahashi for the Octane Championship later on in the month at our first pay-per-view here for Octane. And as we saw earlier on, Omega sort of staring down Tanahashi. Not quite sure why. Well, we know why. Obviously, he wants that championship. But at the same time, you can't just assume you're going to get there, can you, really? You can't just assume you're going to win that belt. You can't assume you're going to beat Wade Barrett here this evening. Wade Barrett is a very accomplished wrestler who, in my opinion, should have been the champion when he was on his big run. Neville now sending Breeze into the corner. Neville heading up to the top here with Tyler Breeze. There's the superplex. Wow, big maneuver. And of course Neville, that hurts his own back as well. There's the pin on Tyler Breeze. 1, 2, and Breeze kicks out, but there wasn't a lot behind that kick out. Wasn't a lot behind that at all. Neville, Northern Lights suplex now. And now just up on the middle rope, just taunting away, and to be honest, he probably has the time. I normally say that's not a good idea because you don't want your opponent to get back up on their feet, but at this point in time, that he probably has a lot of time to spare. Neville now dragging Breeze away from the ropes. Oh, there he is, locking in that Rings of Saturn submission. Is Breeze going to have to tap out here? He does. Breeze gives up, and Neville does pick up the victory with the submission win. Nice. Very nice. So that means Neville is back moving in the right direction now, up from 81 to 86 Whereas Tyler Breeze now drops down to 95. So there's only 9 points gap between these two guys now. That beauty shot earlier on really took me by surprise. I thought that the match could have been over and done with there and there, you know. Could have been done with there and then. That's the words I was looking for, not then and there. There was a pin then by Tyler Breeze as well. It was only enough though for a 2 count after that. There was a big superplex there by Neville. But eventually it was the Rings of Saturn that was locked in that finally finished Tyler Breeze off. That submission hold is so vicious, so brutal, that it's just so difficult to survive with when it's on for too long. I'm glad that Neville won, you know. I'm not showing favouritism, as I shouldn't be showing favouritism at all, but I just feel like it's a match that I needed Neville to win, to force his way into the main event picture, because Neville is going to be one of our main eventers, hopefully, moving forward, but he needs a good few wins to get his ranking points up and get his momentum up in the right direction. Good old Neville. Is it going to flash up on the rivalry screen, is it? It is. I have no idea why. No idea why. None of these guys are in a rivalry, so I've got no idea why. Apparently Neville's the #1 contender for the World Championship, apparently. I don't... yeah, okay. Whatever. Whatever. 3.5 stars. Nice one. And here we are with our main event of the evening, the Battle of the Half-Decent Cause, as Wade Barrett takes on Kenny Omega for the #1 contendership to the Octane Championship. And of course, whether Omega is, the Young Bucks are not far behind. Of course, the other 2 members of the Elite, or in this case, in our universe mode, 3 of the 5 members of not NWO, Bullet Club. There's me just like blatantly saying they're ripping off the Bullet Club stable. So here comes Wade Barrett. Then he looks pretty good. It did look pretty good. It's the best Wade Barrett on the community creations at this point in time, and I'm happy with it. It's hopefully not going to be our final version. I'm hopefully going to get a better version at some point, but I think for now this is not too bad. I think there's still some time to go, isn't there? Like I said, it's still pretty early in the universe mode, so yeah, still pretty early in the life of 2K18. So we're still going to get better cores as we move forward. I've not even got all my roster downloaded yet. I'm still short about 10, 12 people. Which is why I haven't really done I haven't done an introduction. I could still do an introduction video, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know if we need to. The blogger pages there, aren't they? So, Wade Barrett takes on Mr. Kenny Omega. It always frustrates me when a new game comes out, right? This is going to sound so stupid when I say it, right? It frustrates when a new game comes out, right? And you go on Community Creations and you're looking for like some of the best wrestlers in the world to download. You're looking for your Ricochets, your Zack Sabre Juniors, your Kenny Omegas, your Young Bucks. And what do you find? You find Rihanna. You find a really good Donald Trump. You find all 4 of the Ninja Mutant Turtles. You find Harambe. And I'm sat there thinking, why are people wasting their time creating these cores when there's so many top-level wrestlers that need creating? I'm like, it perplexes me sometimes. It really does. It really does perplex me, but there we go. That's enough of me moaning. They're not bad cores, don't get me wrong. They're not bad cores at all, but they're not quite 100%. I think the Bucks have always been a big, difficult problem, I think, haven't they? These aren't bad, actually. They're not great, but they're not bad. Attire's spot on. It's just a case of the faces, isn't it? And these faces aren't bad, actually, are they? And, of course, the Young Bucks are your tag team champions. And we will be... I think I messed something up, to be honest. Yeah, I think I might have messed something up. There was supposed to be a tag team match tonight, and I cancelled the tag team match because I couldn't get the right cause. Okay. And there's a tag team match next week as well. Okay. Yeah, I've messed up my... It's okay. It's okay. I messed up my my booking because of changing the matches for this evening because of not being able to get the calls. I was supposed to have a tag team. I never shake hands again. This game's got a bit haywire, isn't it, at the moment? It's got a bit haywire. Right, I'm going to have to cancel that. Well, we're going to start that one again. I had a bit of a glitchy issue there, so we're going to start things off again. Yeah, both guys just got a bit stuck on the outside. They were fighting on the outside for quite a lot, and they just, like I say, they just sort of started fighting it out and got stuck around one of the corners, as they used to do a lot on 2K17. I don't think it's so much of a problem on 2K18. But on 2K17 it seems to be an issue, and yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. We've had such a good night tonight, I didn't want it to come down to a dodgy match. So we're doing okay. Omega now with Barrett up on his shoulders, drops him into that nice little sit-out Death Valley driver. Omega now willing Wade Barrett back up to his feet. Caught him with the right hand. Both guys just ran into each other there. Oh, and Barrett just completely clattered straight through Omega. But Omega fighting back against Barrett there. It was dragging him along the ring, and it's a risky manoeuvre this early on the match, trying to drag people around, because they're not that weak. Really, are they? Barrett now taking Omega up. Oh, I thought he was going to powerbomb over the apron there, but Omega managing to fight his way free. Barrett now, big knee strikes right in the face of Kenny Omega. Wow. He's just destroyed Omega here in pieces, isn't he? Barrett now, snap mount Omega now just gets around the back and wrenching back at the chin of Omega as well. And I think Omega's probably quite glad for this one. It's obviously quite a little bit painful in that chin lock, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, he's able to sit down and have a bit of a rest for a second at the same time. Omega dragging Barrett along and drapes him across that top rope and now just pings him back. And Omega made himself very clear earlier on that he wants Tanahashi. He wants that Octane Championship. I don't think he held it in 2K17 at all. I think he's only ever held the Throwdown Championship with my brand a couple of years ago, and this is his first opportunity. Going for the Octane one, and there's the jumping knee strike by Omega. Wow, that's his finisher, isn't it? That's one of his finishers, I'm sure it is. But he's not gone for the pin, though. As Barrett's back up, and now Omega taking Barrett up on his shoulders. That must be his signature then. As we see a one-winged angel. Wow, Kenny Omega so early in the match hitting that one-winged angel. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Wow, Kenny Omega has really sent a message here. That was a strong victory, that. Over Wade Barrett by Kenny Omega. And that's not only going to do him well here, put him into the championship picture, but it also puts him into 130 ranking points as well. No, 135, sorry, because he won the main event. And it drops Barrett down to 100. Drops Barrett down to 90, of course, because he's lost in the main event, so he loses double points this year. So big match. Big match for these two. And it was Omega who clearly came through as the victor, to be honest. Barrett showed some great strength, but Omega just caught him with that knee strike into the one-winged angel. And there we go, victory there for Kenny Omega. So, we now know that Kenny Omega will face off against Hiroshi Tanahashi for the Octane Championship in a few weeks' time at our first pay-per-view. And we also know that Mistico will face off against Hiromu Takahashi as well. It's going to be a really good first pay-per-view, I think. I bet the feud screen pops up again, doesn't it? And there it is, yeah. There's no feud ongoing, so I don't know why the feud screen's popped up, to be honest with you. But it was a 3-star match, that's not bad. I'll mark that down. It's not the best match of the evening, don't get me wrong, but it's not bad. That puts Omega up to... Oh, yeah. Okay. It puts Omega... Apparently Omega's a tag team champion, but he's not. And apparently Wade Barrett has gone up to 31st in the European Championship rankings, even though he lost the match. That's a weird way of doing it, isn't it? But there we go. That is the end of this episode of Octane. I hope you have enjoyed our very first episode of Octane. Of course, if you have, then please let me know by hitting that like button. Of course, and if you're new around here and you want to see some more, which if you've got this far, then you probably do want to see some more, then please do hit that subscribe button as well. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next episode of SWE. And it's going to be our first episode of Throwdown, and that's coming up for you this Friday night. Bye.
1, 2, 3.